This is not Perplexity. This is ChatGPT. And this is how you should be using it. So give me about 5 minutes, and I'm going to give you the 5 steps that you need to know to access the internet correctly inside of ChatGPT. All right, what's going on, y'all? My name's Jordan Wilson, and I'm the host of Everyday AI. If you're new here, Everyday AI, it's a daily live stream podcast, free daily newsletter helping everyday people learn and leverage generative AI. So most days we do a 5-minute AI in 5, a very quick tip, trick, or tutorial to help you get more out of generative AI. That's what this is. So please subscribe to this channel. Let me know what you want to see more of. All right, let's jump right into it. And I did a much longer version of this on our live stream today. So if you want more depth and detail, make sure to go give that one a watch. It's like 38 minutes, something like that. Watch it on 2X. I won't be mad. All right, so here's an example, and we're going to go over this kind of quick. So please try and keep up here. I'm going to go quick. So in an example here, I'm inside of ChatGPT, and I'm saying, tell me about LLMs or large language models. So the problem with large language models like ChatGPT, I know this is kind of meta here, is meta. So it's going back. So the training date cutoff is October 2023. So at best case scenario, what you're getting out of ChatGPT is almost a year old, but probably it's a lot older than that. So what you need to be doing is using targeted browse with Bing calls. So I'm going to go over that in 5 steps and tell you everything that you need to know very quickly here. And y'all, I've trained more than 7,000 people live, 7,000 business professionals live on how to use ChatGPT, multi-billion-dollar international companies. So I know what I'm talking about here. I've done the research, so get your prompts better. So here's the problem. We're getting old info, and you saw that in that simple prompt where I said, tell me about LLMs. So step 1, you just got to use browse with Bing. You also need to be looking for it. So in this example, I'm doing a browse with Bing call saying using browse with Bing, tell me about LLMs. And you'll see right there, the little browse with Bing icons popped up and it said search 5 sites. Here's the thing. You don't know this, but it's probably, when you're using ChatGPT, it's probably using browse with Bing a lot, and you might not even notice. Because one thing that happens is people put in a prompt, and then they see all the words spinning, and they just start to scroll down. But you need to always go back up and look, did ChatGPT actually use browse with Bing in this query? And you're going to see some pros and cons to what happens if it does and how to make sure you do it correctly. So in this case, I'm doing a call to browse with Bing, or I'm telling the model to use browse with Bing. Because like I said, sometimes ChatGPT will do this on its own. Sometimes even when you tell it to use browse with Bing, I'd say about 5% of the time, it just won't. So you always need to be calling out to use browse with Bing. It used to be its own dedicated mode, but in the GPT-4o, which is Omni, it's now all under the same model. So now with that, using browse with Bing, it should give us up-to-date and accurate information, right? Not necessarily, because here in this example, it actually binged the query LLM recent developments 2023 large language models. That doesn't help. That could bring up technically information from 2020 or 2021 because SEOs have this sneaky way of taking old articles, barely updating them. So in this case, you might have very old information coming from Browse with Bing, and you don't even know how recent or up-to-date the training data is inside of ChatGPT. So what do? Well, you take it a step further. So in this, and to show you this, I ran this again in the exact same chat. And again, we're getting mixed feedback here. So we're getting a lot of information from 2023, which is bad. So we need to use targeted dates. So saying something like using browse with Bing, tell me, and then do the dates, August 2024 to September 2024, as an example. Whatever today's month is, give it at least a 2-month range. And then you'll see what it's searching there. And then you can then verify the sources. All right, so step 3, use browse with Bing like Perplexity. Yes, this works. Browse with Bing used to stink. I told people a year ago, do not use it. You did not have control. So Openai actually under the hood, released some huge updates to browse with Bing. Didn't even talk about it. Now it's amazing. It works like Perplexity. Yes, OpenAI has their own search GPT, kind of their own answer to Perplexity or Google's AI powered search. However, right now, that is not a sync with ChatGPT. It's almost like a separate product. So it's hard to use all the power of kind of quote unquote normal ChatGPT once you do get access to search GPT. So instead, do something like this. Specifically tell Browse with Bing when you call to it to search a certain number of sources. I found 8 to be kind of the magic number there. So if you ask for like 12 or 20, sometimes it just kind of gives up at like 5. But I feel normally if you ask for 8 or at least 8, it'll usually give you 7 to 9. So that's pretty good. So you'll see now here, it searched 9 different sites and it's only bringing in recent information. That's fantastic. However, what if some of this information isn't very relevant, right? So what if you need some sources that are maybe more authoritative? Because it brought in a bunch of random blog posts. So another thing you can do is steer toward more authoritative sources. Again, just using plain English. So at the end of that prompt, I'm essentially saying, please use only authoritative sources, but I need to give examples. So I say, such as ARXIV, Microsoft, OpenAI, Google DeepMind AI, Kaggle, and others. And then you'll see it gives me 7 different sites that are more authoritative sources. Fantastic. So unfortunately, right now, you don't have the option like you do in Perplexity to easily click and toggle these on and off. But with some proper steering, you get the best of both worlds because ChatGPT and GPT-4o is much more powerful than Perplexity, if I'm being honest, because Perplexity's big advantage, I mean, yeah, you can use Sonnet 3.5, you can use GPT-4o. However, its big advantage is everything else that it can do under the hood outside of just being an answers engine. But if you start out with this most up-to-date, recent, and relevant information, it changes everything else that you can then do inside of ChatGPT. Step 5, though, if you want certain URLs, if you want to work with actual URLs, you can't use Browse with Bing for that. All it does is it queries the keywords in that URL, which may or may not bring up the specific articles that you want. So this is where if you want specific URLs, you should use an internet-connected GPT, such as some ones that we use, but sometimes they go in and out. VoxScript, WebReader. In this example, I'm using WebPilot. And I'm literally, you can give a list. I feel most internet-connected GPTs can handle like 6 at once. So think of being able to quickly analyze 6 articles at once and then taking that context and then starting whatever task that you were going to do inside of ChatGPT with that up-to-date relevant information. Y'all, that was a very fast, very quick way to go over the 5 steps to give ChatGPT access to the internet. I hope this is helpful. Subscribe to this channel, leave me a comment, but go to youreverydayai.com, sign up for our free daily newsletter. Also, here's a hint if you're still listening. Just reply to that welcome email and we'll give you access to our free but hidden Prime Prompt Polish course. It's a free prompt engineering course. No upsell at the end. There's actually more free courses. So hope this was helpful. We'll see you back for another AI in 5. Thanks, y'all.